What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, commentating a game. First thing you'll notice about this is that we're 1 minute in. I'm sorry about that. That was a mistake on my part, where I joined the game a little too late, so I did not get to see the very beginning of it. But luckily, nothing has happened. People have bought items, basically, and that's it. This, of course, is a Diamond 1 rated solo queue game. We got Dyrus TheOddOne, Rule 18, Ricari, and Descraton on the blue side, and Nick 1 with Fujin, Mismatched Socks, Flawless, and a shadowy figure on the purple side. So, yeah, let's just hop right into it. Going down, looking at the matchups, Teemo is a great pick into Renekton just because he's got range and Renekton doesn't. He also started Doran's Ring, which means he wants to be really offensive early in lane, and Renekton's, of course, started Shield, which is fairly standard. He just wants to sustain in lane. Jungle matchup, OddOne versus Nick 1. Fiddle versus Elise, they're both pretty popular jungles. Fiddlesticks, of course, brings a ton of CC with his Fear. They are starting different items, actually. Nick 1 started the Hunter's Machete, and OddOne started Doran's Blade 1 pot. Now, we're already seeing top lane Mismatched Socks taking a lot of damage from Dyrus. If Teemo can zone Renekton, he's very strong in the matchup, but if Renekton can get on to Teemo when Teemo doesn't have his blind, which is level 1, then he can actually do a lot of damage to him. So that's Dyrus taking advantage of the fact that he is a pretty strong level 1, but now Dyrus is getting zoned by Mismatched Socks. Mismatched Socks could even get a kill here, but Dyrus is just going to hop in level 2, Ignite. Both Ignites go down. Dyrus is actually going to go down for first blood. So, sorry about my coughing, but great play by Mismatched Socks, just putting the strengths of Teemo in there, and Dyrus really wanting to capitalize on his level advantage, but just not being able to perfectly. Anyway, now back to matchups. In the mid lane, Ricari versus Flawless. Flawless is just going to try to poke, and Ricari is going to try to zone and do a ton of damage with his amazing damage and range. That's basically straightforward. They both started Doran's Ring, fairly standard on mid laners, and there's Flawless trying to get a little ranged harass poke in, whatever you want to call it. The bot lane matchup, extremely offensive on both sides, of course. Caitlyn is the highest ranged AD carry, so she'll be able to outrange Lucian, but at the same time, Blitzcrank can just pull them right onto each other. Now, Kate Nami's a strong lane. It's got good sustain, tons of damage, good CC, but the same thing can be said about Lucian and Blitzcrank. Now we see a gank coming in here from Fiddlesticks, who's level 4. Dyrus takes a ton of damage because he was very far pushed up. OddOne's going to recall after farming the jungle. Both junglers are at very similar CS. Ricari is shoving up the mid lane because he just saw that Nick 1 was top lane, so he doesn't have to worry about that. Nami, Rule 18, is going to place down a ward near Dragon, but not with Vision of the Dragon. He wants to do this just to make sure that Nick 1 can't get a gank off, a strong gank, and just run into the lane very quickly. And, of course, with that ultimate, he can come in from quite far away, so she wants to make sure that she has that ward deep, far enough, knowing that her lane can get away very quickly, and they'll be able to see Fiddlesticks before he sees them. Well, he'll always see them, but before he gets in range of doing anything to them. Ricari and Flawless both low on mana. Not much is coming out in that lane. Lots of poke, Mismatched Socks. Gonna be auto attack harassing Dyrus. Dyrus is actually shoving the wave, which is something you usually don't want to do as a melee champion, because you really get zoned when you're at the turret. You cannot get a lot done, and they can just freeze at the turret, and you're basically forced to stay back and take a lot of harass. But Dyrus is actually taking control of the matchup, doing a ton of damage to Mismatched Socks. But Mismatched Socks is still doing a ton of damage. Nick 1 actually getting caught out pretty far here. OddOne Ricari going to pick up the kill. Kill's going to go over to OddOne, but that's the early damage of OddOne with that Doran's Blade kicking in and doing a ton of damage to Nick 1. Also, there's a ton of CC coming out from that Cocoon and just from Syndra in general. She's very strong with their knockbacks and such. And there's the knockback again, doing a ton of damage to Flawless. She doesn't have her ultimate yet, so she's not going to be able to all-in perfectly. She has the Ignite. OddOne wants to repel over the wall here. He actually flashes, and completely executes, hops back over the wall, uses his repel. So he burned Flash to pick up a kill, but that's going to be the second kill in the hands of the TheOddOne, and I think he picked up those wraiths as well. So very good for him. Bot lane got harassed out pretty hard, so they're just going to be able to push back up. Relatian and Descratron. Descratron? Weird name. I've never actually heard of this guy. I've never heard of a lot of these people. There are a lot of really good Diamond 1 players that I don't even know. And I assume a lot of people don't know them. I've never, seen them in the Challenger scene or anything like that. But, they're Diamond 1 Challenger. There are 3 Challengers in this game, I'm pretty sure. So, they're definitely strong players. Anyway, Flawless is going to start just CSing under turret with his spear. We're looking at CS differences, and it's kind of interesting. TheOddOne has opted to just farm up with his Fiddlesticks jungle. Actually was interested to see what he was maxing first, and he is maxing his Drain first, which is interesting. It makes for weaker ganks, less CC with the fear, but tons of damage. Oh, we see the spear come out. Ricari just dodges it. Slick little dodge. Good job on his part. But yeah, Fiddlesticks clears Chaos faster. He can actually solo Dragon once he gets spear to the special Wraith. If he maxes that Drain, but his ganks are going to be weaker CC-wise. The pull actually comes in here to Discreton. It was Fuchin doing a ton of damage, but getting damaged a lot as well. Rule 18 putting a ton of damage on, and they actually might have lost that trade. Now we see here the ultimate coming out from TheOddOne. He's going to flash forward, and he's doing so much damage to both of them. He takes 3 turret shots. He's going to go down, actually, because he got locked up by CC. So that's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. And that's going to be pretty bad for TheOddOne, because he burned Flash and Ultimate on that, only to get a 1-for-1 trade. It's pretty good for the bot lane as they're pushing up. So the argument could be made that this is good for Fuchin and a shadowy figure, but not sure. And as we see TheOddOne stealing away this blue buff, it's a trade, really, for jungler power. This is going to go down by a lot, because he's 0-2 now. He's got the special Wraith, though, because of his 1 assist and his good farm. But he's been taking a lot of pain, basically. And TheOddOne picks up his blue buff, so that's even worse. Descaraton is getting pulled in here. By the end of this game, I'm going to figure out how to pronounce his name. Spear coming out to Ricari? No, I don't even think a spear came out there. I just saw stuff fly in. Okay, it's Descraton. Dyrus is going to stun Mismatch Socks and then dice out, so getting good poke onto him. He's actually doing quite well in this lane matchup, which most people would consider a counter pick, just showing his knowledge of the matchup. TheOddOne's here in the mid lane. He's actually going to get stunned out by Ricari. TheOddOne's going to take turret aggro, and Floss is actually going to take a ton of damage, and TheOddOne's going to repel out of there. So he's actually going to end up going down to the Ignite. Great gank by TheOddOne. Very interesting, because they came in sort of in a flank situation, which is pretty rare to see, and they did very well with it because of the powerful stun from Ricari and just the raw damage TheOddOne could put out, because he is rushed those magic penetration, those sorcerer shoes. He just wants to get damage and mobility in there. He's just going to continue warding up TheOddOne's jungle. He wants to shut him down further. Dyrus going to continue doing his little combo, slice in, stun, dice out, and he keeps getting good poke on a Mismatch Socks. Mismatch Socks was a higher level for a minute there. It's interesting to see Dyrus actually taking the CS lead. He's a pro player, so he's good at CSing. TheOddOne's coming in here for the gank. Q comes out, and that's all they're going to need to pick up the kill on Mismatch Socks because of the Ignite from Dyrus. But it's interesting to see him out CSing Mismatch Socks, because Mismatch Socks is a ranged champion, so you would think he would have better CS, but since Dyrus has been playing the matchup so well, he's just doing great. Shadowy Figure's coming in, trying to get the kill onto bot lane. He's actually going to get hit by the wave, and Fusion's going to step on a trap, so they're going to have to back off. While this is going on, though, TheOddOne is soloing the dragon. When I was talking about before, he can just continuously drain and pick up that objective without taking any damage. Use the cooldown reduction from the special Wraith, and he doesn't even have blue buff, so that's just straight cooldown reduction. That 10% and maybe even the extra 5%. From masteries. Now, they have vision here onto Nikwan. They know that he's coming in because of that river ward. So they are not going to want to get hooked in here. They knew he was there, but Descratron still walked pretty far out, got hooked, and got completely destroyed. So that's just bot lane not playing safely. Really, he did not expect the hook, I guess, or he thought he could dodge it, but it came out so quickly. Good play by a shadowy figure, getting that hook off, facilitating that kill. Dyrus is going to step on a shroom, gets zoned by Mismatch Socks, and he's going to have to walk away here. Mid lane has been relatively quiet, except for that one kill that TheOddOne helped pick up. But other than that, it's just been trading back and forth. No turrets or anything have gone down. So, yeah, top lane's been roaming since Mismatch Socks' turret went down. So, he kind of wants to push, but since Dyrus is roaming, he says, well, I might as well roam so we don't give up a dragon. You can't really give up a dragon at this point, but Dyrus is roaming towards dragon. Mismatch Socks roaming around towards mid lane. Flawless going to turn into his cougar form, get some CS. Where Carry is going to actually not get hit by that spear because a minion tanks it up. Good guy minion. And we're back into our lane matchups, basically. Mismatch Socks blinding Dyrus. Dyrus actually got the level advantage for the first time in a long time. But Mismatch Socks will probably pick up Equilibrium very quickly because he's been in lane quite a while, as has Dyrus. If we see builds, early builds coming out, it's pretty split across the board. Very different builds, except for, well, very different builds in top and jungle, at least, I'll say, and support. AD carry is pretty similar. Descratron almost getting hooked there. I think it's interesting that Descraton, it's Descraton. It's interesting that Descraton has opted to get those Berserker's Greaves because they do not add a lot of combat stats, but they add mobility. I assume he wants them to not get hooked, but with the chaos that goes on down there, a shadowy figure is having no trouble just picking up kills by hooking. So, continuing good play from a shadowy figure. He's facilitating a lot of kills down there. Flawless is going to take a ton of damage from TheOddOne, but Nikwan is able to zone him away there. So, yeah, the turret's actually going to go down in the bot lane. Flawless is going to get bursted down by Unleashed Power. He is, just barely not going to go down, using his barrier to save himself. Dyrus is going to keep pushing top lane, and all in all, no one going down in that little skirmish near the dragon. Now, dragon's got a while before it comes back up, because Nikwan took it a while ago. He took it at a weird time when most teams aren't really looking at dragon, so it's going to be a while, and there's not a huge objective for them to contest there. Dyrus trying to recall, but that pesky shroom is stopping him from doing so. Now, in the bot lane again, we have Descraton and Rule 18. Descraton is actually ahead in CS from Wisfujin, but Wisfujin's got 3 kills and Descraton's only got 1. So Wisfujin's going to have the clear power advantage. They're both building first item Bloodthirster, and Wisfujin's already got that and Berserker's Greaves, while Descraton still does not have enough gold to pick up that Bloodthirster, I think. No, he does not. So he's going to need about 500 more gold to pick that one up. Carry, not taking any spears. Flawless is pushing towards the mid turret, and it's interesting to see them sort of looking towards getting a fight. I would have thought they would just have pushed straight towards that turret tide to get some damage on it, but apparently they're thinking that the threat someone might be at that turret. They do not want to deal with that, you know. Always when spectating, you gotta keep the idea that these players don't have vision of the entire map. They don't know where everyone else is looking, and, you know, who has vision of what, so they only have vision of what their team has, so you as a caster can sort of make decisions they won't be able to. Nikwan's gonna fear Dyrus here. He's gonna plop down the ultimate, flash away. Mismatch Socks is gonna flash forward, get the blinding dart onto him, and it might be enough to take him down. Looks like no, and Dyrus is gonna be able to walk away with barely any health. He's got that Spirit Visage, so his own healing you know, just his health regen is very strong, and he might be deep into the defensive tree. I would not be surprised, and he might have that extra health regen, and, well, just, you know, regen when you are at low health. OddOne taking away these wraiths here. He's actually a little higher CS. A shadowy figure is actually going to step on the trap, and Descratron's going to sort of zone him using the golems. Descratron is not going to be able to be hooked because golems are there. Now, we see Dragon coming up in 15 seconds, so after all this weird stuff has come out, purple side is ahead by a little because of that Dragon Gold, and with blue side recalling again, it's possible that Nick1 could take this dragon again. Now, both Elise and Fiddlesticks are very good at taking dragon. Elise because of her spiderlings, Fiddlesticks because of his drain, and Fiddlesticks is looking like he's making the call to go out to dragon. There are wards all around this dragon pit, so blue side's gonna have vision of it, but it almost looks like they're gonna just give it up. They can't get there in time. So that's going to be another free dragon for purple side. It's 17 minutes. Now, Ricari's going to all in here. Flawless using his barrier to save himself. The culling coming out, and the spear actually picking up the kill onto Ricari. He can't dodge every single one. So, OddOne's actually going to go low here. Dyrus completely tanky. OddOne repels up, and then he thinks, actually, I don't want to dive into 3 people. That's a bad idea. He takes one more shot for Mismatched Socks, and the kill goes down. The spear comes out on Dyrus. He steps on a shroom, and he's got 4 people on him. That's a double kill for Mismatched Socks. So he's sort of picking up the slack they had before. They're actually going to go for a 17-minute Baron here, which is very bold from them. But since Nick1's got that drain, he does a ton of damage to it. It looks like they might actually be able to pick this one up here. It's taking quite a while for blue side to get over to this Baron to realize, hey, they're doing Baron. Ward comes over the wall. OddOne's dead, so there's no chance of a steal, and purple team's going to pick it up. And now Flawless actually gets killed by the ace in the hole. No one there to block that out, threading the needle and letting that kill happen. But that's going to be 1 for Baron, maybe 2 actually. Flash is coming out from a shadowy figure and Ricari. He's chasing on forward, trying to get the kill, and it looks like he'll give up now. The ultimate coming out of Nick1, he's going to be able to pick up Rule 18, then Wisfujin is going to be able to assist the kill onto Ricari. I thought he would pick it up, but while this is all going on, we're actually seeing Descraton picking up a turret in the mid lane and getting a ton of damage on the next turret. That just raw damage with the Bloodthirster and the great attack speed from the Berserker's Greaves. You're going to be able to pick up 2 turrets. 1 more auto attack should do it, and he's going to pick it up, but he's going to go very low. Flaw's going to flash forward and kill him. That was a little greedy on Descraton's part. He picked up the turret, but I would have honestly preferred for him to give it up. He knew that Flawless was coming, but he stayed there, took an extra turret shot. And I guess the biggest problem with that play was that he hesitated. He thought, hey, maybe I'll take it, maybe I won't. And then he's like, wait, this turret's really low, I'm going to take it. But because he hesitated, he was put in a really bad shot. Also, if he was strafing around while taking the turret, he might not have taken that spear. We see OddOne actually sitting in this brush here. The spear did not hit him, so they still have no idea that he is there. Dragon's going to be back up in about 3 minutes, but right now, OddOne is still sitting in that bush trying to wait for a pick. I'm really curious as to what he wants to do in this bush. He's going to see everyone walk away, and he's just going to walk out of there. So, that's pretty hilarious. Shadowy Figure is going to start pushing mid lane, and, well, just getting that wave going. The first turret's down. Maybe they're looking for the second one because they lost 2. They have Baron buff, purple side, so they are really going to be looking to start pushing objectives and making plays, team fighting with that extra, well, so many stats from Baron. Ricari's going to knock them both back, and OddOne's going to mobilize towards them. We actually see in the jungle here, Nick1 taking away those wraiths, but it's looking pretty risky here. Shadowy Figure's now going around looking for a pull, but his team is not behind him, and they're actually backing off towards the mid lane. Don't know where exactly they are going. Maybe looking for a pick down here. We're seeing Flawless try to bait Dyrus and the rest of his team in. A Shadowy Figure is going to get cocooned, knocked up, but he's so tanky. and he's just not going to take any damage from that. He was a really tanky support. He's 102. He's overall got 5,000 gold. That's been put into a Face of the Mountain Sightstone, a Ruby Crystal, and a Negatron Cloak. Null Magic Mantle, that's the other one. So he's going to be taking very little damage. Cloth Armor as well. So not actually sure what he's building here because the Null Magic Mantle plus Cloth Armor plus Ruby Crystal. I still don't actually remember the new build path for Solari because I honestly have not built it yet. Anyway, we have a shadowy figure here taking a little turret aggro, just saying, hey guys, you gonna take this turret? The wave comes out here, only hits Nidalee, and that's gonna be an ultimate burned. Very interesting. Dragon's gonna be up in a minute 20, so purple team is going to push on. Let's see how long they got left on that Baron buff. It can't be very long, and it is not. It is about to end. So they're going to mobilize towards that dragon and try to get the last little bit of pressure, objectives off that. And as I say that, they actually mobilize towards the bot turret because they say, maybe we can pick this up right before dragon comes up. And, not a bad idea. They are about to lose Baron. They just lost Baron. So they're up in kills, so they're stronger as a team. And Dyrus is actually pushing out top lane, saying, hey guys, just give away the turret. Spear comes out, and the shadowy figures get a step on a trap, getting a ton of gold, actually, because of the rest of his team CSing, I'm pretty sure. And, well, they're actually going to start sieging the bot turret. Dyrus is going to recall, saying, hey, I thought they were turning around. I thought they'd go for dragon. And the siege is going to continue. Of course, Baron is gone, finally, and it'll be back up in a while. But for now, their purple team is just sieging the bot turret, and, well, they're going to see what happens. Now, actually, they're going to back off now. Probably go for that dragon, I assume. Nikon can probably solo it, but, oh my god. I didn't even think about this. I was not paying that much attention, but Nikon actually has 2 needlessly large rods. Now, those give a lot of AP, so I can almost see him building 2. Nikon's actually going to use all of that AP to take down Ricari with his ultimate. He jumped in there so sneaky that even I didn't notice him. Shadowy figure is going to miss the pull, but that was great play by Nikon because now the siege is going to become that much easier. Dyrus is going to jump in with his ultimate, with Fujin's trying to hop away. Dyrus is going to take a ton of damage, but that Face of the Mountain just saved was Fujin's life there. Mishmash Sokk going back and flashing forward to Descroton. The burn is coming out, but he is in a 3v1 situation. That was a little greedy on his part, I gotta say, or at least a little too eager. Was Fujin healing back up with the Nidalee? He's gonna hop in there. Descroton still doing a lot of damage. It just seems like purple side cannot get to him. But as I was saying before, finally gonna go for that dragon. A shadowy figure not getting seen here. The ball came out of Ricari and did some damage to him, but that does not give vision, so they're just gonna do that and leave. Now the odd one actually here, blue side's gonna pick up the dragon. Oh geez, purple side, why, oh why did you not pick up that dragon earlier? They wanted to get the bot turret. Now we're actually gonna see Baron coming up in half a minute. Now I want to talk about Baron in right now and in the past, because before it was such a powerful objective. Off of 2 kills, the purple team just jumped on it and wanted it, and they got it, and they got a huge advantage. A few turrets off of it, and a kill or 2. So that was huge for them. It can be huge again. The thing is, though, as I was talking about with Dragon Control, it's the same thing with Baron Control. OddOne on Elise is going to be very good at taking Baron, as well as Nikon. I didn't even realize both had 1 in their name. Is very good at taking Baron with his Drain. So, it's actually pretty interesting that both teams can get this Baron easily. Now, purple side's just going to check that dragon and say, hey, it's gone. Can't believe we didn't get it. Roulette Teen's going to take a ton of damage because that Leandry's Rabadon's coming out of Mismatch Socks. He just wants to burn you all day for so much health. And Nikon has finally finished a Zanya's and building towards a death cap. And now everyone's mobilizing towards Baron. No vision on the 4 members of the blue team, and the purple team's just looking around trying to see, hey, who's here? Pink ward comes out. It's going to actually give vision control, which is interesting. And this is like one of the one times pink wards are being used how they were intended to, being defended sort of at an objective, which I've usually just seen them, hey, they're here, and they're gone. Shadowy Figure trying to get damage onto that, but he's in a pretty bad situation. He got baited by the pink ward. He's going to go down to OddOne. Ace in the Hole is going to be back up because it did not fire a shot. And now, blue side looking, saying, hey, maybe we can take this. Now, Spear comes out, does good damage to OddOne, but it's not a ton, because OddOne is pretty tanky at this point. Every single item is giving him health or resists in some way, besides the Sork shoes. So he's looking to be a tanky, but also damage dealer, sort of mixed. Now, we're going to see a Shadowy Figure come up in 0 seconds now. He just came back up. OddOne's going to recall. Dyrus is going to get caught out. He's just going to have to slice over that wall. The culling coming out, doing a ton of damage. And because the spear, actually, Ricari's going to go down, but not Dyrus. That was so much damage under Ricari, who had not built any resists. Now we're seeing just pings on pings on pings coming out onto this Baron now that they've picked up that kill. They say, we want this. And Mismatched Socks and Flawless are just going to zone everyone off of that Baron. We're seeing the Baron drop pretty low, and it looks like it's going to be free for purple team. OddOne's going to jump in, try to get the steal. Elise is very good at stealing Baron, but he just could not at that point. He could not reach it with the Smite Q. So, Elise, one of the best champions at stealing Baron and securing Baron in the game. OddOne cannot pull it out, though, and he loses his life for it, letting purple side shove towards the inhibitor turret in the mid lane. Spear comes out, connects onto no one. Now, Carry doing a ton of damage. Mismatched Socks actually getting damage in, but Nick1, so much AP, is just going to destroy the blue team. 2 kills, OddOne's still down, and that's going to be the first inhib of the game going to purple team. Now, OddOne's going to be back up here. 2 champions down still on blue team, and purple side's going to say, hey guys, it's still up the first turret in the top lane. That's looking like free gold because it's so far away, and blue side does not want to mobilize too far outside their base for fear of getting caught, and they can't really fight because of Baron, and Ricari and Descraton still not up yet. So basically, purple side is going to own this jungle, own this top lane right now, and they're going to get a ton done. Fusion's going to sit in that bush, just make sure that if anyone wants to try to stop this siege, he's going to be there to completely destroy them, and a Shadowy Figure says the same. They're going to siege, take down that top turret, and now they're looking on to the next turret, Descraton, and was Fusion doing his job. He says, hey, were you trying to stop us here? Bye-bye. Ricari's also going to go down. Rule 18's getting chunked down, and that's 3 quick kills. That is huge for purple side. That might actually be the game. Dyrus was shoving up mid lane. Now he's going to have to back away because instead of getting an inhib through split pushing, they're actually going to lose an inhib because OddOne and Dyrus are the only 2 up. This might actually be the game. There are no minions pushing through mid lane. So, good play by Dyrus getting those minions away. If he can fend off these minions, it won't end up being game. He's going to clear out those minions, take a ton of damage though, but everyone on blue side is coming up soon. It's going to be sort of a race to the clock, Dyrus is going to go down, take a ton of damage, and Mismatched Socks is zoning the entire blue team inside the base. Nexus turret's going down, both of them go down. They're chasing on to purple team, but only one purple member goes down. The Nexus is getting incredibly ill. A Shadowy Figure is going to keep attacking it, and it's going to go down. Great game by purple side, and blue side as well, actually. Those are the kind of games I love seeing, just down to the wire. Games where objective control reigns supreme. That Baron control was amazing by purple side, and showing the power of Fiddlesticks jungle. 3 Rabadons on that triple AP composition, all lined up, just to show how awesome they are. No completed boots out of Nick1, which is interesting. Also, I really hope I haven't been mispronouncing his name this entire game, and his name is Nick-One or something like that, because I have a feeling it is like that. So feel free to flame me in the comments, Nico, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. And if I was pronouncing it the same way, or the correct way this entire game, then I'm sorry for doubting myself, and I'm a terrible caster for doing so. Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll try to get more games like this, because these are the pinnacle of games, you know. They're not that I can cast, sort of. I mean, I could cast LCS games and the such, but those aren't going on right now, of course. Challenger games I could cast as well. But I'm not really in the challenger scene because I'm kind of terrible and just getting better. Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll leave you guys with the fact that I'm terrible. Great game. Shows how just because there's pro players on the enemy team does not mean that it's impossible to win the game, and that you can definitely come together, though. Wizfujin actually a pro player himself now, so, well, scales still kind of tipped in each other's favor. Anyway, I'm going to stop making things even worse at the end of the game. Good game played out. Hope you guys have enjoyed. I told you already, I like to get submissions from you guys. Add me on your friends list, and say, hey, watch me play game, watch me get stomped in ranked, watch me play a game with my team and watch them get stomped. Wow, I'm really good at destroying my fan base, huh? Yeah. Okay. Way too much rambling. What else could I ramble about? Yeah. Actually, I think I'll stop rambling. I'll stop it before, 20 minutes before my ramble becomes longer than the video itself, before it scares people away. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.